Hello and welcome to the LampLighters podcast, the Hockey Talk podcast for the fans and by the fans. I'm Zach Hampton, and alongside Lauren Smith and maybe Jaylen Corver, we welcome you. Tonight, it's finally here. Our NHL season preview is upon us. Who is primed to contend? Who will fall back? We give you picks and analysis. Secondly, we'll round up the final free agent signings of the summer, including the end of the Will Butcher sweepstakes. Finally, it's the trivia shootout. Will Jaylen recover from his latest loss? And has he even ever returned after he stormed off the set? We will find out soon enough. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we light up these topics and light up each other as we drop the puck on another edition of the LampLighters podcast. All right. Jaylen, are you here?
I am here today. I am here.
You want to give any thoughts on what happened there?
Nope, no comment.
All right.
We're moving on. That was last time. Last time I'm back with a vengeance, hopefully, and we'll see how this time goes.
Well, hope it goes well. All right. So here we are, start of the NHL season, just over a month away. Training camp's opening up. We're already getting a couple of those professional tryouts being signed, which perfect indication that we're going to be underway with training camp soon enough.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see. WHL camps are well underway already. Just waiting for NHL camps to start next week, and then the rookie camps or rookie tournaments to start in a couple weeks here too.
It's all coming together, right?
Yeah, finally. Been waiting all summer for this.
It's about time.
About time is right.
Like 30, 35, 36 days left now.
I think, yeah, about.
Something
until
like
NHL season, yeah. But
Ooh, it's getting close.
So, I guess if we're going to be doing a season preview, we might as well just go through each division, I guess. Seems like the best way to do it.
For sure.
Yeah, that might be the best way.
Yeah.
There's small, succinct, and we don't have to list off too many things.
Exactly.
Anyways, let's see. We live in southern Alberta, so I'm guessing the vast majority of our base be interested in what's going on in the Pacific Division. So let's start there.
I was going to say save that for last, retain some viewership here.
it's okay, no one listens all the way through anyways.
Except when we mentioned Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, views spike. We had that last time.
Not LeBron James.
Oh, you mentioned it, no.
Alright, go on.
Conor McGregor? No. Alright. Anyways.
Moving on.
To the
we don't
Pacific.
want to knock out our viewers like he got knocked out by Mayweather.
Ooh!
You guys watch the fight at all? Let's sidetrack you for a second.
No, I have better stuff to do with my time.
No.
No?
No.
Yeah, I was working that night.
I was at Whoop Up Days.
I caught the highlights afterwards and kind of saw, but
I just chose not to.
it was exactly how the people predicted it would happen.
Yeah, let's be honest. The fix was in, and he just wanted his $300 million or whatever.
And this 50-0 record.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're a hockey podcast. We're moving on. I know I sidetracked it.
We seem to forget this a lot.
But I'm bringing it back. It's summer. We need something to talk about.
Right, the Pacific Division.
The Pacific Division.
8 teams for the first time in league history in this division.
Yeah.
8 times. So you got the 3 Cali teams.
8 times?
8 teams.
8 teams.
Thanks, Jay. You got the 3 Cali teams. You got the 3 Canadian teams. Vegas.
The new team and
Arizona.
the team that should be moving. But, anyways.
So, how do we see this going down? I feel like this is a very cut and dry division. I feel like you got your great teams at the top, and then you have a lot of mediocrity.
I wouldn't say a lot. I'd say it's pretty much split, half and half-ish or so.
Yeah, I mean...
okay, let's obvious here. No one expects Vegas to be good this year, right?
No.
No, of course not.
No.
So they got to be near the bottom of the division.
No,
So.
I would say the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Division.
Bottom of the league? Would you go that far?
No.
No?
Colorado is Colorado. But we'll get to them in a minute.
That's true. That is very
There's
true.
also Arizona, which...
No, I don't foresee Arizona going to be as bad as they've been in years past.
No, they got, they upgraded in goal, I think. They got Antti Ranta.
Finally have a semi-decent center, at least a top 6 center.
Yeah, for sure. And they got a whole bunch of good rookies coming up here yet, too. So
What will Max Domi do as long provided he doesn't get injured in another fight.
Yeah, and Ekman Larson on the back end is always a stud. I always like him back there.
It's not bad.
So,
Because you've lost Mike Smith and his 3.00 goals against average.
moving on.
Actually, we're not moving on.
Let's talk about that in a second. Yeah, I can see Arizona not at the very bottom of that division, but somewhere in the middle, I think. A little higher. They're kind of in the bottom half of teams.
What about Los Angeles?
That's a tough team to predict. They're getting older. I don't know.
No, when your number one free agent acquisition in the summer is Mike Camilleri, you might be having some issues.
That's where he ended up again?
Yeah.
LA. Alright. Well.
I think you look over the last few years, they've kind of just fallen off. I think that their window came and went.
Yeah.
I don't know. 3 out of the past 5 seasons, they've been averaging 100 points a year. Mind you, in 15-16, that wasn't even good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they don't have Sutter behind the bench anymore, right?
No. John
yeah.
Stevens.
Right.
Stevens, first year's head coach.
So we'll see how that
Rob
goes.
Blake, GM now.
I
So.
always like Rob Blake. He's a good guy. Good guy.
Yeah.
He played for Colorado.
Edmonton takes this division, right? I have to think they do.
I'd like to remind you of a team called Anaheim.
I don't know, man. Anaheim's not... I've always had issues with Anaheim. I think that they have a lot of high-end talent, and I'm not sure about the depth.
Their defense is very, very good out in Anaheim.
Yeah, I was more
Give them that.
I was more referring to the forward core, and plus John Gibson. I've never been sold on. Never been sold on. He puts up some decent numbers.
You would know. You've taken him in the hockey pool for the past couple of years, right?
Yeah,
And that hasn't turned out for you very well.
That's enough out of you. I mean, he had a 9.24.
You took pot shots at me before. I'm taking pot shots at you now.
Yeah, I can feel that. 9.24 save percentage and 2.22 goals against average. So good stats. When it comes around to playoff time, that balloons to 2.59 goals against average, though.
It's true. Oh, they're always a very tough team. Look at that. They're guaranteed pretty much 2 or 3 home wins whenever Calgary comes to town, right? So
easy money.
easy points right there.
They have over 100 points in each of the last 5 seasons. Been a model of consistency.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, rolled over a easy Calgary team in the playoffs last year. I mean, it was close, but the goaltending was obviously one-sided.
You look at that bottom 6, though. Richie, Vermette, Eves, Wagner, Costa, and Shaw. It's not very inspiring.
Not inspiring, but they're a grinder group. They do okay.
I don't know if I'd want, apart from Vermette, I don't know if I'd want any of the others on the third line. Eves had a great scoring year last year, but that was not...
Richie's young. Richie's young. He can come around yet.
I don't know. I'm just not... For a contending team, I'm not sure if Nick Ritchie is the guy you want playing on the third line.
That's true. Yeah.
Whereas opposed to Edmonton, you've got a guy on there who can just mask a lot of problems.
That's true.
A lot of problems.
I think you had a lot of overachievers last year in Edmonton, though, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Patrick Maroon should be somebody who's playing on the first line.
No, and I think Talbot definitely overachieved a little bit as well. I mean, he was very good, and I think he's always been a good goalie. He was stuck behind Lundqvist out in New York. I just think he overachieved maybe a little bit in the playoffs.
Oh,
I'll give you your X factor for Edmonton. It's Jesse Pugliarvi. What can he do this year?
Pool party? Yeah, it's tough. If he cracks the big league this year, or if they think maybe another year in the minors, it's tough to say. And then, yeah, of course, how big of a load can McDavid take? Workload.
I think with the bit of experience they collected, I have them. Number 1, Anaheim, number 2. Sadly, I think we're going to be... I think Calgary, we finally get to Calgary. I think they
Side note, Talbot's actually remained pretty consistent with his saves over the past couple seasons. The only time he was higher was when he was in the Rangers, which he was playing fewer games, so for playing as many games as he has, he's actually stayed pretty consistent.
Okay.
Looking back over his history, when he was with Hartford Wolfpack back in 2009, it was the last time he was below .90 save percentage.
Okay. Well, point proven then, I guess.
Stats.
Stupid stats.
Nevertheless, still off to the Flames.
Yeah, that's a good
Travis
discussion there as well.
Hamonic, you've got probably the best, right up there with Nashville, the best top 4 in the league.
I'd even see top 5. I mean, Stone's no bad defenseman either back there.
Yeah, he's not bad for a third pairing defense.
Yeah, for sure.
What's he making this year?
Lauren, person on the computer, find our stats. I should know this off the top of my head. I want to say 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 is
I think it's 3.5.
What's my thought?
3.5.
Yeah, 2 years, 3.5, is that the deal?
No, he signed until 2020.
3 years.
3 years, yeah, 3 years,
10.5.
3.5. Yeah. So, that's a good signing, I think. He played well for us last year. But
I love the Flames top 6.
Oh,
love
yeah.
the Flames top 6.
You get one of the best, you could almost call them a third line, because they play against the top lines of other teams, and they've just held them back so well, and then put up scoring as well. You get Michael Backlund, Frolik, and Tkachuk, who will soon be one of the most hated players in the NHL, probably at this rate.
Yeah, there's always Corey Perry.
There's always Corey Perry. That's
that
true.
Pacific Division, though. Ryan Kessler, Corey Perry.
Oh, that is a tough division. So
here's my question of the Flames. One's Mike Smith, obviously.
That's the biggest question mark of the year for them, I think.
Mike Smith and Eddie Lack isn't a Stanley Cup winning tandem, let's just be honest.
No, I will agree with that. But if they play decently okay behind a top 5 that's one of the top 2 in the league, probably, I would say they have a pretty good shot. Now, I will agree, I think Anaheim and Edmonton will both finish 1-2 in the division in that order. And I think Calgary has got third position locked up. And then we move on to other team yet we've avoided.
The Sharks, of
The
course.
San Jose Sharks.
Oh boy, San Jose. No Marlowe. Keep Joe Thornton around.
Aging Joe Thornton. It's not looking, I don't know. It's tough to say how they're going to do this year as well.
They're a tough team to gauge. I think they're easily in the 4th spot in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Easily in the 4th spot. Unless LA comes out of nowhere, but I don't see them as a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we can all agree that we don't even need to, well, yeah, I just don't see Arizona, Vegas, Vancouver doing all that well.
No.
Not to spend too much time on any of those teams because, yeah, Vancouver is. No, we didn't talk about.
We didn't talk about Vancouver at all. Yeah, what's the other team we've avoided?
Well, Vancouver, what is there to say? To be honest,
They signed a lot of free agents this year. Random free agents.
The team's struggling the same issue they struggled with for years. They don't know. They just don't want to pull the trigger on a full rebuild because it means trading both Sedins.
Yeah.
They feel like they owe them one last run, but let me tell you what. A team that's running with Jacob Markstrom as their starter.
Well, it may also not be so much they don't want to trade both Sedins as they have a no movement clause and cannot be traded if they don't want to go.
And if they do, it's going to be very tough to move both of them in the same transaction because most certainly they'll want to go together. And good luck
They must
getting
be in the last year of their deal now.
Yeah, their last year. Yeah.
It's
So good luck getting them to go to a team together that will be willing to take on their.
Well, at the very least, even if you didn't trade them, you at least have mentorship.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And of your younger players, and you don't have that when you're filling the roster with Alex Burmeistrov and Michael Belzotto and Sam Gagne.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough out there in BC, I can tell you.
Anyways, back to San Jose.
Yes.
Probably one of the more compelling teams in the division to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They strike me as being their window is shut.
Yeah.
They've got young talent, feeling a plethora of European names on the left wing. Of young European names too. You got Carlson, Donskoy,
yeah.
and Sorensen. Not to mention about Mikhail Bodker, who I don't really think is top line
No.
left winger either.
No.
Although that center depth, Thornton, Couture, and Hurdle.
Yeah, if they can all come around, Couture can stay healthy. Hurdle comes back around, I think they could be decent. But
Joe
yeah, I think that 4 spot is...
Pavelski, don't forget.
Right. I think that 4 spot's pretty much locked up for them, though, I think. They're
Yeah.
kind of not too good to be with the top 3, but not bad enough to be with the top... Where are the bottom 5?
Bottom 4.
4.
Bottom 4. Well, LA's like...
Yeah.
You have the top 3 teams, and you have San Jose, then you have LA, who might get a wild card spot if they're lucky, then the other 3 at the bottom.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's probably good enough for the Pacific.
It'll be a tough division, fun to watch this year, I think. Lots of good teams.
Let me tell you what, they might be fun, but they ain't going to be as fun to watch as the Central.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of the Central,
Central Division.
let's get into it. The most competitive division in the league, arguably, right up there with the Metro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you got 7, the only division with 7 teams anymore.
Yep.
Yep. It should change
But
hopefully soon.
The amount of contenders you've got in this division, though, through the roof.
It's not...
Those new look Dallas Stars, defending Stanley Cup finalists, Nashville Predators.
The always dangerous Chicago Blackhawks.
The St. Louis Blues, who never seem to go away. Minnesota Wild, who never seem to go away. And Winnipeg, who's looking to get over the hump.
In that tough division.
We don't even need to talk about that.
And who else? Man, yeah, we don't talk about them.
I hear that Joe Sakic's now trying to acquire by default, the first overall pick next year.
Good luck with that.
After the lottery failed this year.
I got it. I got your point now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't the best lead up, but...
They kind of botched that.
Yeah, it didn't really work out there. We both knew where I was going, but... it just didn't.
Oh, man. Classic times.
I'm far removed from the Korea Salani days.
Okay, anyways, moving on. Yeah, Dallas, we'll start off with them. Definitely one of the most compelling teams, probably the team that made the most changes this offseason for the better.
Adding Radulov, adding Hansel, adding Ben Bishop.
Ben Bishop, that's, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Ben Bishop. I think that he's overrated.
Overrated.
Ben Bishop last year in his statistics, .255, goals against average, .911 save percentage. Record of 16-12.
You know, not crazy good, but...
But remember, started only 32 games because of Vasilevsky in Tampa Bay.
Well, if you want to go back here, I said 9.26 the year before.
That's not bad. It's pretty good.
Cut?
I'm not that high on him. I think that he's overrated. I think that he's aging.
No, that's true. It's very true. I mean, when he played with LA last year, he didn't look all-star, for sure. He let in some easy goals. I remember one game against Calgary, he got lit up.
I don't think that he fixes their goaltending problem.
Who's their backup right now still?
It's Kari Lettinen. Here's where I disagree. Ben Bishop's only 31. I think that he was a late bloomer in terms of his development. I still think that he's an upgrade on Kari Lettinen, who's never lived up to his second overall pick potential.
No.
And Antti Niemi, who, quite frankly, just didn't have the consistency
Where did he end up?
Dallas needed. How he got bought out, who knows where he ended up.
He's not anywhere right now, he isn't.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, Kari Lettinen and Antti Niemi put up respective save percentages of .902 and .892. He's an upgrade.
That's true.
The Dallas, we all know that the team they're going to be. They're going to score their way out of everything. All they need is a guy who's good enough.
Yeah.
Firewagon doesn't really work as a brand. That perhaps if you load up with enough offensive weapons, maybe they can try and buck the trend. They were already exciting to watch a couple of years back. And they didn't have Radulov. They didn't have Hansel. John Klingberg was a rookie back then.
They have Mathot now, too. Don't forget about him. Yeah, so that's a decent defense. And
another player who Lauren's fond of, though. He's loaded with players like that.
But
there's like 3 players that you've listed so far on this team that I'm not
but yeah,
fond
even
of.
the top line right there of Sagan, Ben, and Radulov is so exciting to watch, I bet. two of the top players for sure in the league, and then you get Radulov, who definitely...
As long as he doesn't take the money and run.
Yeah,
Alex Semin did something very similar in Carolina a few years ago. Oh, yeah. Signed a 5-year deal after one good year. Very similar to Radulov.
Mm-hmm.
We just spent a good solid 5 minutes talking about Dallas. We can't do that with every team.
No, but it was good. It was good.
Nashville's the elephant in the room, though, because they're a team who probably did overachieve a little bit last year.
I don't think so. I think that they're an underestimated team. I think.
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore, but but I think still, because everyone just goes, "Oh, they just overachieved."
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think they overachieved, and I also think that the loss of James Neal, loss of Colin Wilson, there's going to be a different look to these Predators.
But they had a Bonino.
They might have, but if you're dressing Bonino as your number 2 center, then.
But still, had some good first line too. Still there again. Forsberg is one of the top players in the league. Johansson's still good.
Arvidsson had a coming out party in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I knew the defense, man.
With all due respect to Calgary, their top 4 were best Calgary's.
Oh yeah, yeah. 100%.
Maybe not the top 6, but definitely the top 4.
I would take top 4 of Nashville over any top 4 in the league.
And Nashville does still have some playroom with their cap space. So if they decide they want to go this year, they've got about $6 million. Depending on what moves they make, they could make some changes and go even further, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it'll also depend on their backup, how he ends up doing. Oh, what's his name?
Saros.
Yeah, say Saros. 22, already spent a good chunk of time as an NHL backup. I think that he has the potential.
Mm-hmm. I think Pekka Rinne. Lauren has Ben Bishop. I've got Pekka Rinne. I think that, as you know, I've said it for years. I just don't know if this guy. I don't know which Pekka Rinne is going to show up.
Right. I've had him in a hockey pool a couple years too, and it's just he's so unpredictable.
Some years are like last year where he puts up incredible numbers.
Makes great saves. But
then he has other years.
Like 2 years ago?
Where it doesn't work out at all.
Yeah.
Last year, 15-16, he was 9.908.
Yeah,
the before was 0.923.
See, you never know which one's going to show up. It's a roller coaster.
And you know what? If he were to become a little more inconsistent, that could do Nashville in that division a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
But mind you, might have an LA situation where they get a low seed in the playoffs and they're able to come up by surprise, just like they did this year.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on.
How about Chicago?
Chicago.
I would say Saros looked really good last year in his 21 games that he had, with .923.
That's pretty good.
So I think that
he's a little. What's his height? He's little, isn't he?
He's 5'11".
Small for a
and
goalie.
82 kilos.
Compared to Pekka Rinne, 6'5".
Not much to him.
5'11", 82 kilos. It's a pretty small guy. So, but clearly he's put in the work to make it. He played one game back in 15-16 in the NHL. But he said this season he looked really solid when he was up. His overall save percentage since 2013 is a .922. 2
names to watch in Nashville before we go to Chicago. First one is Frederick Gaudreau.
Freddie Hawk
had a great coming out party in the playoffs.
Yeah,
as did Pontus Aberg.
Mm-hmm. Both had very good playoffs.
Both projected to be in the starting 12 on right wing. So
see if they keep it up next year.
Indeed. So okay, those Chicago Blackhawks. We give you the 14-15 Chicago Blackhawks, loaded with big names like Patrick Sharp and Brandon Saad. They still got the core.
Yeah, still got the core.
Not Jarmelson, not Panarin, not Hossa.
That is a lot of changes.
Not Kruger, not Oduya. But they still got the core.
Still got the core. Just
pretty sure Hossa was considered part of the core.
Well, his play had tremendously dropped off over the last couple of years. Speaking as a fantasy owner.
Right. Yeah, feel bad for him. You don't know weird allergy stuff that's going on.
I mean, he had 45 points last year, so
it's decent still.
Decent for his age, but
yeah.
One of those players, streaky scorer. A lot of those came in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
Though when you're riding shotgun, Jonathan Taves. I mean, it's not like riding shotgun Patrick Kane, but you're still going to put up points. Speaking of Patrick Kane.
Patty Kane.
Scoring race winner? Dark horse?
Is Patrick Kane ever really a dark horse when it comes to scoring?
I would say
Well, you got Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby in
but
the
I still
scoring
think
race.
you got McDavid.
Yeah.
Much as I hate to say it, I think you still got him to be number one scorer in the league. I think he's the best player in the league, but Crosby might have something to say
We'll
about
have a Crosby McDavid debate one of these days.
Oh, that'll be a good one. Good topic.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook's still there.
Yeah, but
Corey Crawford's still there.
After Keith and Seabrook, it's kind of a different looking
That is a weird
defense. Hey?
Connor Murphy, Mikkel Kempny, Gustav Forsling, Jan Ruta. And then a familiar name, Mikkel Roosevelt.
He's still there too, but just, yeah, it's definitely a weird decor there behind the top two.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to rekindle some of that old magic, bring the boys back together.
Trying to get some young guys up in the league. I mean, you got Alex DeBrincat. He's been awesome every year in college and then playing for U.S. of the World Juniors. He's been one of the best players in the tournament every year.
DeBrincat in college?
OHL.
OHL.
I
Gary
like.
Otters, with that little known player, Connor McDavid.
That's awkward.
Anyways, it's not like DeBrincat passed Connor McDavid in rookie scoring or anything on the same team. Minor facts.
One thing Chicago's
Point taken.
Anyways, I'm trying to save you, Jay. One point Chicago's going to need to improve on penalty killing.
Oh, yes.
Penalty killing, 24th in the league last year, 77%.
Ooh, yeah, that's not very good.
Oh. And was it them in the playoffs who couldn't buy a power play goal?
Who couldn't buy a goal
They
in the
couldn't
first
buy
place?
a
Couldn't buy a goal.
Yeah, not a great showing for the Blackhawks when you only scored 3 goals in the whole series.
That's pretty bad.
I think they're kind of, like, if they have a chance at another cup, it'd be this year, or I think they're done. You look at how many aging guys are on super long-term contract with no move clause and no trade clause.
Well,
They're over the cap right now.
let's do a little bit of math here. Patrick Kane's only 29. You got Jonathan Taves, also only 29.
Yeah.
You got Brent Seabrook. Okay, he's a little older at 32. Duncan Keith would probably be 30. That make Duncan Keith 33.
Keith is 34.
34.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're right.
He's there until
Just turned
2023. Brent Seabrook is past 2023, both no move clauses.
And you got Corey Crawford, who's also 33. Yeah, I mean, they're getting older. I think as long as Kane and Taves are still around, though, until they get up to 33, 34, you're probably fine. Perennial playoff team at the very least.
Yeah.
Unless the
It's
wheels
in a tough
fall
division,
off.
but I think they should still make the playoffs there.
How about St. Louis, Minnesota? Let's start taking these teams in terms of generalities now.
Yeah, I think we can move on with that.
St. Louis, Minnesota, they're...
I think Minnesota has potential. It's going to depend on Dubnyk, how consistent he is.
Well, my problem with Minnesota is where does the scoring come from? Was Eric Stahl the real Eric Stahl last year? Or did he just have a one-off great year?
Mm-hmm.
You
could be just games that new team rekindled some of his fire, and he's picked back up.
As for St. Louis, I mean, they're the team I expect to drop off every year, and they just don't.
Come around all the time.
New Braden Shen at number 1 center.
It's a different acquisition there.
Yeah, I mean, they just sort of hang around. Colorado's going to be Colorado, but how about Winnipeg?
Winnipeg's
Can they crack the ceiling this year? Or are they going to have
So
another
bad.
year?
They're stuck in a horrible division, horribly tough division. It's tough to say how they're going to do.
Yeah.
Hockey News has them at 6th in their division. It's not cracking the ceiling.
Weak on the special teams. Power play 18th. Penalty kill 26th.
See, that's not
Goaltending,
good enough to keep up with it.
goaltending carousel. Steve Mason now.
Steve Mason.
With Connor Hellebuck and Michael Hutchinson.
See, they have such good potential. They have such good prospects coming up every year. They win the draft almost like every year, pretty much. At least you think. But
Baylors, Scheifele, Morrissey. You've had Trouba in recent years.
Kyle Connor is good.
Connor, yes. Yeah.
Line
Dog?
Yeah.
Line
Well, we were just saving the best for last, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the year they can crack the ceiling.
Give them 1 or 2 more years. Yeah.
I'd maybe be willing to put them ahead of Minnesota.
How long is
I would.
Mason signed for?
It's just a 2-year deal, isn't it? Maybe even a 1 year.
2-year.
Yeah, 2-year deal.
2 years, 4.1 mil.
I don't know if he's the answer to their goaltending problem, though. Them and Calgary each have that same problem. They need a good starting goaltender.
They're trying to set up Hellebuck for it.
But he's just not taking it, has he?
No, he hasn't really taken it yet. Hellebuck 907 last year, 289 goals against average, way above the league average.
They do have Eric Comrie coming up yet in their system. He's not a bad goaltender.
I mean, they have. You look next year. I mean, they have a ton of guys up for contracts next year. It's a lot of RFAs. So
it's a lot of people still under their control.
Yes.
Just they need to sign new contracts. Line will be interesting to see what he gets next year.
yeah.
You got to think 7.5 to 8. If he puts up another 40-goal season. Did he get the 40? No, he didn't. He got the 35, right? Yeah, 36.
36.
36.
But he was also injured.
Yeah.
He probably would have gotten it.
73 and 36. Yeah, he's averaging 0.5 a game. He projects getting 40 the full season. So I don't know. I'm gonna make the bold prediction. Say they sneak in the 8th spot. I think they can.
Bring the whiteout back to the MTS Center.
I think they'll probably get swept out. Probably get swept out by.
Anaheim.
Oh, maybe they get Dallas in the first round.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
not
I
a
guess
bad
depends who
matchup.
gets first in that division yet, too.
Yeah. Let's go to the East, though.
We've spent enough time on the West. Let's head over to
Lots
the
of time in the West. Let's go to the Metropolitan.
Yay!
East. Lawrence division.
So you got your big three. Pittsburgh, Washington, Columbus. Pick them any order you want.
I don't know. I'm still not sold on Columbus.
We're going to disagree on that. I think
I think that's another team where I'm not convinced they didn't overachieve.
they probably did overachieve, but what I like about Columbus, they actually went out and made the bold move in the summer, picked up a player who can tremendously help them. Columbus put up was averaging 3 goals a game last year, good for 6th in the league. They could score. It wasn't a matter of, which is interesting because they go out and get Artemi Panarin as the scoring dries up in the playoffs. Perhaps Lauren's assertion is that that's more of the real Columbus team.
Yeah, you never
When it shows up
know
in the playoffs.
their goalie, how he'll perform. What's his name again?
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky!
Jay and Dan return to TSN next week.
Can't wait.
The Cam Atkinson, 60 points last year, 35 goals. Is that his ceiling?
It's tough to say in there, too. Because he had such a good rookie. I don't know.
The other thing is, quite frankly, I don't think that Panarin's that much better than Saad. If you look side by side at their numbers, Saad actually scores more goals.
He's also older, though. No, he's not.
No,
Not that
he's
much
not.
older, right?
I think that Saad might be younger at the same age.
No, something about
I
that
think it's a year,
doesn't seem
I think.
accurate.
I feel like it's a year.
Saad's 92 born. Panarin is
Saad is 24.
Panarin is
25. Oh,
Yeah.
he's one of those Russian signings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Across
I know that Saad is younger, but everyone thinks that because Panarin came over and won the Calder because he was just barely young enough.
Well, how much of that is riding shotgun on Patrick Kane's line?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that Panarin's a bad player. I think Tarasenko tried to get St. Louis to bring him in for years. They mentioned that, and they didn't, and they regretted that when Chicago brought him over. But the reality is, I don't think that he's an improvement over Brandon Saad. I think you're getting a pretty comparable player.
I think in terms of higher end talent, he probably has a little bit more up his sleeve. Unfortunately, he's going to suffer in defense play, and Coach Tortorella may not like that.
Yeah. And you got the question on defense as well with Werenski. Will he be as good this next year? Following up a good rookie season?
Only time will tell. They got Seth Jones there too, so that's going to be a great number one pairing.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh will be Pittsburgh. Washington will be Washington.
Yeah, both probably locked up in the top 3 somewhere in there.
Yeah, I still think Columbus is a cut above all the rest of the teams, though.
You think
I'd
so?
be tempted to
I
say.
don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
I do think so.
I think Pittsburgh are 1-2.
I think Pittsburgh, Washington 1-2. From there, it's a pretty mixed bag after that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say Pittsburgh, Washington 1-2. I will double down that Columbus is number 3.
I don't think that's what you were doubling down on.
That's what I was doubling down.
No, you were saying you said Columbus was a cut above the rest of the people in the division.
Yes.
Oh.
Now you get it.
Okay, then yes, then I agree with you.
I still don't.
You don't think Columbus is 3 at least?
No.
Oh, come on. Don't say the Islanders going to be number 3.
Oh, I didn't say that. I just said that I don't think that Columbus is a clear-cut number 3.
I don't know. New York Rangers just weird off season.
Mm-hmm.
Weird off season. I do not think you can call them better than Columbus either.
No.
Loss of Stepan is. I think they'll feel it.
Yeah.
Are they banking on Zibanejad at center then?
That might be a Zibanejad
I
bad
still think
idea.
you look. I wouldn't count out Carolina.
Didn't work at all.
Carolina is the most interesting team of the 30.
I think Carolina still has. I think Carolina has a lot of potential. So
To jump up in the 3rd, though?
you know what Columbus did the year before, though. You look how bad was Columbus in 15-16. Now
They got third
they're
overall pick.
amazing after 1 year. That's why I'm not sold on Columbus.
Columbus also had a lot more higher end talent.
Columbus went from horrible to amazing.
Columbus has a lot more talent on the forward core than Carolina does, not to mention on more experienced defense, as they did at the time. Their drop-off was due to Bobrovsky's poor play as opposed to anything.
So then who's to say that Bobrovsky doesn't drop off again?
He could, but I think...
If you're going to base your team on that,
I think you have a
into
good enough
Montreal
supporting
Canadiens
cast
issue.
around him.
Better supporting cast, I would agree. Whereas opposed in Carolina, you've got some really nice pieces coming up. Pieces that might get you to the playoffs. Pieces that don't get you through the playoffs. Use the old adage.
For now, yeah. Get a little more experience first.
Well, Jeff Skinner's been all over the map for years.
Jeff Skinner.
But you've got Aho. You've got Lindholm coming through the ranks as well. Victor Rask, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You got Mr. Game 7 now.
Yeah, him too. He goes right up to your top
Right
line.
back. Stanley Cup winning goal in 2006. Back to not where it all began, I don't think. But
Yeah, and then you got Noah Hannafin too on defense.
not to mention Justin Folk. Don't forget Justin Folk.
For sure.
They're probably hoping Hayden Fleury will finally work out to be the pick they thought he would be.
Hayden Fleury's been a name floated around. You got Jake Bean, young guy playing for Calgary.
Hitman.
WHL.
Yeah.
And one name who, I assure you not many on this of our viewers would know the name yet, but you should get to know it, Jakob Slavin. signed a mammoth, what was it, 6 or 7 year deal over the summer at very reasonable cost. 34 points last year.
That's pretty good.
Someone who just sort of has been very much under the radar. And word is down there that he is, they're looking at him as a top pairing.
It's very possible.
As for the rest of your teams, I mean, New Jersey, after Travis Zajac just got injured over the summer.
Travis Zajac. But they picked up a good college free agent signing.
A good place to knock this off, Jake, because our time is starting to run out a little bit.
Yeah, move it on here.
Yeah, Will Butcher signs with New Jersey. Anyways, New Jersey, not looking great. As usual, they're probably a couple of years away from getting to where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Still got Schneider back in net as well.
Yeah, it's an all right setup.
It's okay.
I think Schneider's just in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, he's sort of been in that situation ever since the Vancouver trade. Heir apparent Marty Brodeur. Just didn't really work out. Philadelphia, how about? Another weird team.
Very weird team in Philadelphia as well.
They're sort of in the same boat, I feel. Just a little bit unpredictable. Which Claude Giroux's going to show up?
Yeah, and then they went out and got Brian Elliott as their goaltender, and that's...
yeah, we'll see how that...
I've seen that firsthand in Calgary, how that went. I don't know. They've always done well to heckle their goalies pretty good if they don't achieve as they are expected. So
Goss's had a really tough year last year, though.
He did. But they still got
39 points,
Provorov.
but it's not a rough year.
They still got Provorov. He's very good.
Well, then, Wayne Simmons, very capable player, too. Jakub Voracek, of course.
Voracek, yeah. I've always liked Voracek.
Now, I feel like there's a team we haven't really touched on in Metro.
Oh, maybe the New York Islanders?
Might be the one.
Yeah, maybe.
Lauren's only wearing an Islander jersey right now.
No, she's been pretty quiet over there.
The Islanders, my initial impression, apart from the Tavares cloud, I still think is hanging over them at this point. They're going to be in the running for that last playoff spot. They always are.
Mm-hmm.
Always are. I still think that goaltending is a little weird.
I like Grace.
Yeah, I've never been sold even from his days in San Jose as a backup. I've never been incredibly sold on him. Think that he's all right. I don't know if he gets you much more than a round in the playoffs, though. 969 goals against average last year in 51 games. Above the league average.
2.69.
Did I say 969?
Yeah.
That's real high. That's real high.
2.69.
2.69. Still above the league average.
To be fair, he was behind what started off as a tire fire of a team in the New York Islanders.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries on defense. They had a lot of issues last year.
Young core sort of coming up. You got the Barzels and the Beauvilliers still coming up.
Beauvillier, I think that, we're losing Shane Prince for a while at this point, but I think with the young guns they have coming up, still hosting.
Where's Del Cole at?
Del Cole. I think Del Cole's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle of all the other players. He's in the AHL right now.
Being a 5th overall pick.
But I think he's being surpassed by Beauvillier and Barzal right now. Unfortunately, I don't know if he makes the team. I think that he's going to need injuries in order to make the team right now.
Well, the Prince injury might help him a little bit since he's a left winger by trade.
Mm-hmm.
Prince is projected as fifth on the left wing depth chart. That will probably bump Del Cole into that 5 spot.
Yeah.
So
I think they had Prince rotating in and out with. I feel like it was Prince, Klein, Beauvillier kind of rotated.
Yeah, Quine doesn't even appear on the depth chart either.
He's in and out.
Yeah, he's at that center position where Barzell has moved into it now. Even Cizikas is down as the 5 center here. Once again, fighting for their lives. They're going to be in the conversation with Carolina, maybe even Philly.
Yeah.
As we, let's go wrap things up quickly. Take a quick spin to the Atlantic.
Your division, of course.
Well, but it's really my division.
Kind of is.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's start with those lovely Maple Leafs.
The lovely Maple Leafs.
I hate that we can't make fun of them anymore.
It's tough.
Toronto.
Toronto.
I think they're the real deal. I don't think there's going to be a regression. I think they're in the playoffs next year. Don't think they win the division, but I think they're going to be second or third.
I question if they maybe have a moment like Calgary where they make the playoffs before anyone not that they aren't the real deal, but I think that they may have made the playoffs quicker than
expected.
I think next year could be a bit of a down year, and then they come back.
Expectations are going to be sky high in Toronto.
And I think that that's going to be a lot of pressure on a lot of young guys. I question how well that young of a core is going to cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're still going to be a very good team. I just question, you look how close they came to not making the playoffs this year.
That came real close.
Yeah, it really did. It was great. I loved watching that race. But I think they might have a moment like what Calgary did where next year they might miss and then come back the following season.
Very possible.
Here's the reason why I don't think they miss. Who's going to replace them in the Atlantic? The Atlantic is by far the weakest division in the NHL.
Oh, yeah.
By far. Not even close.
Exactly.
I think you're at a stretch saying that Boston improved marginally at all over the playoff. Not just the playoffs, but even into the... They didn't even make the playoffs. No. Over the off-season is what I meant. Boston didn't really improve. Ottawa's an interesting conversation. I think you want to talk about the overachieving team. The overachieving team is Ottawa.
Tampa could come in.
Tampa could come in at the same time. Tampa Bay is...
I think Tampa's got to be best team in that division, no?
No, they're not. Here's my problem with Tampa Bay. It's basically... When you look at the defensive core is all right, even though you're throwing Dan Girardi in there as a number 4, as a second pairing. Mm-hmm. Not too fond of that, but...
Hedman, though.
A lot of pressure on Vasilevsky.
He did okay last year, though?
He did okay. Not good enough to get him to the playoffs, though. Jonathan Drouin's a big loss. No matter what way you cut that.
He wasn't doing crazy well for them, though.
He didn't do as badly as you might think. 53 points last year.
Okay.
53 points. Second in goal scoring with 21. You got Kucherov, who's turning into a dynamic talent. Don't know if Tyler Johnson is, though.
Don't know any more about him. Still got Palat, right?
Yeah, and I think they're banking on Braden Point.
Braden Point?
I don't know if I do think still, and even with putting bias aside, I'd still say Montreal is the best team in that division.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know if that's necessarily a compliment.
I think that they're the best team in the division if Carey Price is healthy.
Yeah, okay.
Basically. With the
if Carey Price is injured, I think they drop.
They drop.
They rapidly drop.
I don't know how far they would drop, not in this division, though. Even if you look at the other teams, Detroit ain't going to be going anywhere this year.
No.
Buffalo, I still don't have put any stock in.
They won't come around yet.
Florida isn't a team with... You want to talk about dumpster fires. What's been going on there with management and everything over the past year? Florida isn't a team either who I'd be thinking. I think even with the loss of Price, even if we were to cut Price out of the conversation, stick an average goalie in there, still think Montreal's the third or fourth team.
You think Montoya can carry you guys?
I don't think I never said carry. I don't think he gets you through the playoffs. I think he probably gets you there.
Okay.
I think it's a different core. I think it's a better core than the one that fell apart. Why are we even having this conversation? Price is our goalie.
That's true.
He's not injured right now.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Right now.
It's fair. But if you look at their defense...
wasn't injured last year.
He was injured the year before.
And that's, 1 year in aberration. I won a Hart Trophy the year before that.
Your defense, though,
Yeah,
isn't the best. Not the best.
Not great.
Shea Weber, definitely, okay.
It's quantity over quality on the back end.
Yeah.
Loss of Markov's going to hurt.
Yeah. After that, it's a whole bunch of all-right defensemen. Wouldn't say superstar.
You got $8 million in cap space, though.
That's true. You still got room to sign someone.
Or trade for someone.
Or trade,
yes.
yes.
Higher
Yeah,
probability.
sure. Yeah.
Bergevin's got to be running out of time, though.
Yes, you still have Bergman.
Vegas still has a lot of excess D-men.
I wouldn't want it.
No one great, but they still got excess.
If they're going to go for something, Montreal needs to swing for the fences. The East is still pretty open-ended this year.
Mm-hmm.
Washington's diminished. Pittsburgh's going to have some diminishing returns.
So
I think it's tighter.
It's tighter.
I think it's tighter.
Would
I
you
think Montreal's window's still open. Yeah. We're still open, but they need to get a big piece.
Would you go as far to say, a little off topic, go to say that the West, winner comes from the West this year?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
No?
Winners come out of the East the last 2 years.
Yeah, but they've diminished. We've looked at that.
They've diminished, but it doesn't matter still.
You look at the West.
Man. You
look
can't
at the
make that
West.
sort of a projection.
Yeah, I know. But you look at the West and just how good they are this year, and it's tough.
Yeah, but last year they were just as good.
Well, but I can't say that the Pacific's, again, aside from your top 3 in the Pacific, I can't say that much better than the East.
No, but
The Central you put up against the Metropolitan, though. The Metropolitan was the strongest division in the NHL last year.
3 of your top 5 teams of
now,
division.
that was tough.
So the Metropolitan Division, right, has become your strongest. I think right now we say the Central because Central was the strongest for so long. I think there's a lot of teams in there that you're just... I think the Central, for the most part, you look and go, what are you? Like,
It's a lot of question marks.
Good.
Okay.
You're like, I feel like that team should be good, but are they really as good as they seem on paper?
That's fair.
I think that the East is slightly stronger. I think it's going to be pretty up for grabs. I think once playoffs come, it doesn't matter if you're West or East.
Okay.
Stuff just happens.
So let's just tap before we wrap this conversation, Jaylen, I want your 4 division winners. Just 4 names.
4 division winners?
4 names.
Anaheim, Dallas, Washington, Montreal.
Lauren.
You know, with Edmonton, I'll still take Nashville, Montreal, and then Washington's won for some years. I'll stick to Washington. They haven't had that much of a change.
Pittsburgh, Montreal, Dallas, Edmonton.
Okay, I think you guys are still overrating Edmonton, but we'll move on.
Yeah, Mr. Flames.
It's not so much that I feel like I'm overrating Edmonton. I look at that division and go, eh.
We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell indeed. Few injuries, you never know what will happen, right? You never know. Injuries and other common factors, people having off years, totally put a wrench in all that.
I just feel like, Selkie-nominated Ryan Kessler isn't that great.
Okay. It's fair.
That will just about do it for our season preview.
Yep.
Quick, before we go, do we want to talk Draisaitl at all?
He signed for 8 years. Good deal for him. Good deal for the club. No offer sheet. Wins all around.
He's the Malkin.
A lot of money tied up in your 2 top players there, but...
Well, but it's the same on most teams. I mean, they did the percentages. McDavid signed for the same percentage of the cap as what Crosby did when he signed his massive contract.
Correct, but the cap also went up in following years.
Yeah.
But the cap isn't expected to go up as much anymore.
The other thing, but I mean, they talk about the fact that most teams are building around, you pick 2 forwards. So essentially they're hoping that Draisaitl will be the Malkin to McDavid's Crosby. That's what they're hoping for.
We'll see.
But it's a pretty common model in the better teams, you have 2 players, you build the team around it.
And, yeah, I'm on board with her on that one. One last fun question. Who's the first coach fired?
Tough choices. Let me just think here. Teams-wise, who's been around for a while and who's...
Who's Vancouver's coach?
Well, they just fired.
Yeah,
They
I was going to
did.
say that, but yeah, they just fired him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the Western teams.
Answer the question. Vancouver's coach is Travis Green, first year.
Right, yeah.
A lot of the popular choices either got fired last year or they were like Dave Tippett gone over the summer.
Yeah, no, that's a very tough choice. Do you think...
Quinville.
I was just going to say, if Chicago stumbles out of the gate, do you think Chicago looks at upgrading a coach? Moving on from Quinville?
I don't know. Well, but the thing is, I don't know if it's upgrading, but so much as you may just need a change.
Let me tell you, 2 people would be making that decision at the end of the day. Taves and Kane.
Yeah, I think so.
Depends. I personally don't think they would. I mean, what other coach in the league can say he's got 3 Stanley Cups?
So what? It's what have you done for me lately?
Unfortunately.
Who's
Shouldn't
coach
be,
out in Winnipeg?
Paul Maurice. He could be a very popular choice. Paul Maurice. What about John Cooper in Tampa? If they stumble out of the gate, is he somebody who could be in trouble?
Yeah, very possible. Sakic out in Colorado. I know he's not coach, but GM.
I don't think so.
Could he ever be?
He will be eventually if he continues demanding 10 first-round picks from Matt Duchene.
He still hasn't been traded, has he? He's still in Colorado.
He still hasn't. He's going to start the year in Colorado, certainly. But anyways, we've got a trivia challenge to get to.
Oh, no. I was dreading this.
Dun, dun,
Also,
dun, dun.
Phil Peters from Carolina could be one. He's been there for 3 years.
I still think they're on the up and up, though.
I think so, too.
Yeah,
I think
it'd be
so,
a far
but
cry.
But not, like,
They
crazy up and up. But I think they'll play well enough that he won't get canned.
I also think they're willing to take their time. They're in the middle of an ownership sale right down there, too. So, we'll see how it goes. But anyways.
Moving into the trivia challenge. And Zach, what is our topic for this week?
Our topic this week, very permeant to one little point we brought up. Less so than I thought it was going to be. But college free agents is the topic.
Okay. Good luck.
And who's going to be going first?
Went first last time. You went first last time?
Yeah.
'Cause that would have been our third. Yeah, okay. I'm going first.
Try not to storm out this time.
The smack
I'll do my
talk,
best.
the smack talk is underway.
I'm going to have to make up for me sitting around yelling at you last night.
Jaylen, your question is... I just realized I had a blank in this document.
Oh.
We'll be with you momentarily. Yeah, I'm like inches away at this point.
Are you American now?
Sorry?
Are you American now?
It's an expression word. Okay, RPI.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know how to pronounce that. We're just going to call it RPI. Anyways, this Hall of Fame playmaker from a school called RPI recorded over 1,000 assists in his NHL career, many of which came with Brett Hull in St. Louis. There's 2 not so recent questions in this pool, and the other four are pretty recent. So,
Say the question one more time.
this Hall of Fame playmaker from RPI recorded over 1,000 assists in his NHL career, many of which came with Brett Hull in St. Louis.
Name's on the tip of my tongue.
1,000 assists.
With St. Louis?
Not just with St. Louis, but many of which.
Came with Brett Hull?
He was still in the league probably when you would have been a fan.
How, like...
I can't give you too
I know-
much. I
I
got
know
in
you
trouble
don't-
for that last time.
Yeah, I know. That's fair.
Sparky reamed me out after the show.
It's not him. Just a second. No. No, I have no idea.
Now you're going to throw up a guess?
With the net. No guess.
Adam Oates.
Yeah, no, I would have gotten that. I should have, but I didn't.
Over
Misses the net.
Super quick side note, Brandon Peary just got signed to a PTO by the Panthers.
Who?
Brandon Peary?
Mr. Cy Young.
Oh.
The guy who scored 15 goals, 0 assists a few years ago.
Okay. Whiffed. Missed the net on that one. He just shakes his head. I wouldn't have gotten that.
Lauren,
Yep.
this might be... Oh, we'll see how you do. This legendary goaltender was a North Dakota alumnus. He recorded 484 wins, won 2 Vezinas, and won a Stanley Cup with the Dallas Stars.
Nope. Got nothing.
Could you have gotten that, Jay? Just curiosity.
Who played for the Dallas Stars when they won it? Only thing that's coming up is Turco, but it's not Turco.
It's Ed Belfour.
Belfour, right. Eddie Belfour. Might have. No, I probably wouldn't have gotten that.
Okay, so let's just scratch that round.
Man,
So-
this is a compelling
Super
trivia challenge.
compelling. Trivia challenge.
It's tougher this week. We were putting the heat on.
As if it wasn't tough enough already for us.
It's about to get a little bit easier.
Okay.
Jaylen. Oh, dang it, there's another blank.
Oh no.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not singing the song again.
I'm on Wikipedia, so we'll be able to fill it very quickly. Wikipedia is excellent for everything.
Except for using as a source at school. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I got told by one of my profs that we could start there. He's like, don't use this as your sole source. But,
You can use the little
Use it to,
footnotes
like-
at the bottom. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, well, it was like, start there. It gives you a general idea. Then go from there. Don't use Wikipedia as your only source. That is not a smart thing to do, though.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
This University of Minnesota alum signed with the Boston Bruins in 2008 before eventually joining the Atlanta Thrashers and eventually becoming their captain. First time we've ever mentioned the words Atlanta Thrashers on the show.
No, I think we mentioned it before.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure we have.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're dodging.
I'm deking is what I'm doing. I'm trying to psych the goaltender here. 2008, signed with Boston, eventually became the captain of the Atlanta Thrashers.
You gotta listen to the wording carefully. Eventually joining the Atlanta Thrashers and eventually becoming their captain.
Oh, the name I was going to say, no, I'm good I didn't say that. It's not him.
Do Do you want to walk us through your thought process here a little bit?
I don't. I do, but I don't. Okay. First, I thought it was Andrew Ladd, but it wouldn't be him because he played for the Hitmen. Then I thought it was Bufflin, but it's not Bufflin because Bufflin played for Chicago.
As did Ladd.
As did Ladd as well.
Yeah.
But who played for Boston and then played for Atlanta and then I'm assuming became the captain of Winnipeg? But who is the captain of Winnipeg right now? Oh, I'm kicking myself so hard. I need to just go through all the rosters all the past 10, 15 years just so I can not have this happen.
This is
Blake Wheeler.
Blake Wheeler is correct. That's the closest thing we've ever had to a trick question on the show.
Sorry on that one.
Lauren.
Yep.
This University with Wisconsin player signed with the Edmonton Oilers in 2012. And since then, he's become a Stanley Cup champion. Jaylen knows it.
Is it Justin Schultz?
Justin Schultz is correct.
Throw a little underhand toss to her, or what?
No, that was a question
I
as
gotten
written.
the Wheeler one.
Would you? You would have?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
So we thought
That's
was
not
underhand.
Yeah, because it's not that hard to figure out. I mean, Ladd was the Winnipeg captain. He left. It would
Single
be Wheeler.
point. Single point. I'm not risking the double.
Okay. So we changed up the single and double things.
Okay.
We changed up the rules slightly after last time's debacle. So we're going to read the question as is, and if you want to forfeit a point, it's worth 2, but if you want to forfeit the point, we give you an extra hint.
Oh, okay.
To drop you to 1.
I see. Okay, that's fair. I like that rule instead.
Okay. So, signing from the University of Denver in 2009. This centerman is currently the longest serving member on his team. Worth 2, but if you need an extra hint, you can drop down.
I'm guessing the hint would be what team he plays for, correct?
We love tell him Sparky? No.
Okay, that's fair. Just let me think here. Going through teams, remembering who played where, and who's been there for a long time. Signed from Denver, hey? You can't tell me position? No hints at all?
I think we read it.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah, you did.
The centerman.
Oh, centerman. Okay. No, okay, that's fair.
We were generous on this question, but if you want to spend it for the extra hint, unless he thinks he can get it, we're going to put a 30-second cap on this decision. So we're running overtime.
That's fair. Give me the hint.
Plays for Canadian team.
Okay.
Could it be Ottawa?
Oh no! I don't.
Or is it just mind games at this point? You have it narrowed down to 7.
Yes. It's not Vancouver, because Vancouver has the Sedins. Edmonton, I can't remember who their longest player is, but I feel like it's not anyone from University of Denver. From 08?
09.
09. It's not Calgary. I know that for sure. I know that for sure. Comes back and bites me. Winnipeg I don't think would count because that's part of the trick question. They are a Canadian team. Montreal has had Carey Price for a while, so it wouldn't be him.
Who plays center on Montreal? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. What Montreal are you looking at?
Apparently Jonathan Drouin. That's beside the point.
Nazem Kadri.
Oh, he was close. Tyler Bozak. Yeah. Lauren would have got it?
I knew it was the Leafs. I couldn't think of their players.
And that sets up Lauren for the win. Dramatic music going on here. This Michigan State defenseman made his debut in the 2013 playoffs for the Boston Bruins on their run to the Stanley Cup Final. You don't? No? You don't know?
The only Bruins D that I can think of that isn't, is it Dougie Hamilton? Would it be Dougie Hamilton? He's too young, isn't he?
I'm not saying anything until the guess is locked in. There's also the hint button sits there too. Till she locks in. This is for the win. 1 point will do it.
Hamilton would be with Strome. Hamilton played in the OHL. It's not Hamilton. Is it McAvoy? We're going to go with him. He's the only one that I can
Should have
think
taken the hint. Because it's Torrey Krug.
of.
Torrey Krug.
I couldn't think of any other Boston.
Oh no, not a tiebreaker again. After this debacle.
So here's the thing. Tiebreakers also change. Because it says, most of the time it just turns out me reading hints till somebody grabs the thing.
Which again is an elastic. Oh, it's not an
Yeah.
elastic.
It's a hairband, I think. Or a bracelet, I don't know.
Was that what he said it was? A bracelet last time?
Yeah, it's a hair elastic. He said it was a bracelet.
So here's the thing. This final clue has 9 hints. And if no one's got it by the 9th hint, you both lose.
Fair enough.
There. It's even written out. To number 10, you both lose. Alright. Topic, college free agents.
Yes.
Number 1. This player came from Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
There's a rip-off hint. Anyways, he was originally signed by Florida, although he's more famously associated with their biggest rival. Just a reminder, an incorrect guess loses you the game. Number 3. He had a reputation as a power play quarterback. Number 4. He's a 2-time All-Star with a Stanley Cup and an Olympic gold medal to his name.
Is it Martin St. Louis?
Oh, she lost it.
Fair enough.
Keep going on the hints. I think I know who it is, but I want one.
I don't know. That's the only one I could think of.
Number 5. He most recently played for the New York Rangers. I think so. That might not be correct. Let me look here.
Is reference out in the ruin? Well, St. Louis would have been Canadian.
Yeah,
That was
most
the
recently played with the New York Rangers is correct.
Okay.
Prior to his retirement in 2016.
Do I get it wrong? Do I win?
You've got it one, or you can keep listening to hints. You can try for...
So if I take it and I get it wrong, I still win,
You
though?
still win.
Okay. Jason Garrison.
No. We're going to keep going.
Okay.
He was a defenseman.
Yeah.
He is Canadian and won the gold medal in 2010.
Okay, hold on.
You going to try again?
Bouwmeester. No, he didn't play for the Rangers last. No. I'm trying to think of Florida.
Yeah, I'm right about that. Okay, good.
What?
I was making sure he was on the 2010 team.
Defenseman. Okay, keep going. How many more hints do we have?
You got 2.
Okay, keep
He
going.
won the Stanley Cup in 2004.
Oh. Ew.
The final hint is there's another team he also played for a really long time, and that would be the San Jose Sharks.
Dan Boyle.
There you go. Took to the last hint.
Oh. Thank you for messing that up. I'll take the win, reluctantly, again.
Because we're now at 2-2.
2-2. Tied it back
But we're
up.
going to have to see about the future of the trivia challenge, because we're going to have some
News.
some news. Lauren here is
Moving to Edmonton.
she is for you international listeners, including that guy from Finland, 5
He's never
hours
listening
away.
again.
Oh.
Is the Russian guy back? Is the Americans?
Maybe.
Oh,
We mostly
okay.
have Canadians.
But, anyways, she's moving away. We're going to try and keep it going every week.
Yeah.
But there could be, there might be some format changes to the day for sure being released. But
Yeah,
we'll,
so it's a little
We're
sporadic.
so consistent on the date.
Yeah, I know.
very consistent. So,
We'll do our best.
we will announcements to come for Jaylen, Corver, and Lauren Smith. This is Zach Hampton signing off on the LampLighters podcast.
Light that lamp.
Good night.
I was here that time to actually say that.